Can I slip under your blanket? I just can't get warm, CEO whispered, single dad speechless. Marcus stood in the doorway of the hospital room, his heart pounding so hard he thought it might break through his chest. The woman lying in that bed wasn't supposed to be there. She was Rachel Chen, CEO of one of the biggest tech companies in Seattle, the woman whose face graced magazine covers and conference stages. But right now, she looked small, fragile, and utterly alone. And somehow, on this freezing November night, their paths had crossed in the most unexpected way imaginable. He'd found her collapsed in the parking lot of the children's hospital where his daughter was being treated. No security detail, no assistant, just a woman in an expensive coat, shivering uncontrollably on the cold pavement, whispering words that didn't make sense. Marcus didn't hesitate. He didn't think about who she was or what it might mean. He just helped. Before we continue with this incredible story, I want to invite you to join our Heartfelt Moments family. If stories about everyday kindness and unexpected connections inspire you, please hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Share your own experiences with kindness in the comments below. We love hearing from you, and your stories remind us all that compassion is alive and well in this world. Now, let's get back to Marcus and Rachel. Marcus was tired. The kind of tired that seeps into your bones and makes every step feel like you're wading through water. He'd been living at the hospital for 3 weeks while his 8-year-old daughter Emma fought pneumonia. As a single dad working 2 jobs, he'd already burned through his savings and his vacation days. His boss at the warehouse had started making comments. His evening shifts at the grocery store were getting harder to cover. But none of that mattered when Emma needed him. That night, he'd stepped outside just to breathe. The hospital air felt too thick, too full of worry and antiseptic. He needed 5 minutes of cold, clean air to clear his head. That's when he saw her, crumpled near a silver Mercedes, shaking so violently her teeth were chattering. Ma'am, are you okay? Marcus rushed over, already pulling off his worn jacket. Her eyes were unfocused, glassy. So cold, she mumbled. Can't get warm. Marcus had seen hypothermia before, back when he'd done construction work. He knew she needed help fast. He wrapped his jacket around her, called 911, and stayed with her, talking to her, keeping her conscious until the paramedics arrived. When they asked if he knew her, he shook his head. Just someone who needed help. The paramedics recognized her immediately. Their faces changed. Suddenly there were more people, more urgency. They asked Marcus for a statement, thanked him profusely, and rushed her inside. He thought that would be the end of it. He went back upstairs to Emma, held her small hand, and tried to forget the strange encounter. But 2 days later, a woman in a sharp business suit appeared at Emma's door. Mr. Thompson, I'm Jennifer Kim, Ms. Chen's executive assistant. She's been asking for you. Marcus was confused. She's still here. She had severe hypothermia and exhaustion. She'd been working 18-hour days for months, barely eating, barely sleeping. Her body just gave out. Jennifer's voice softened. You saved her life. She wants to thank you properly. Marcus felt uncomfortable. I just did what anyone would do. But most people walked right past her that night. Security footage shows at least a dozen people saw her and kept going. Jennifer's eyes held something like wonder. You gave her your only jacket. In 30-degree weather. When you're living in a hospital with your sick daughter. When Marcus finally visited Rachel's room, she was sitting up, looking more like the photos he'd seen online, but with something different in her eyes. Something humbled. I understand you're Marcus Thompson, she said, her voice still a bit hoarse. I understand I have you to thank for being alive. You don't need to thank me, Marcus said awkwardly. Really, I do, though. Do you know what I remember most from that night? Rachel's eyes filled with tears. I remember you talking to me, telling me to stay awake. You said, my daughter's upstairs fighting, and she's not giving up, so neither can you. You told me about Emma. About her favorite books. About how she wants to be a scientist. Marcus nodded, embarrassed. I just needed to keep you talking. You shared your daughter with me when you could have been with her. That's not nothing. Rachel wiped her eyes. I've spent the last 5 years building an empire. I've been so focused on quarterly earnings and shareholder value that I forgot what matters. I stopped seeing people. I worked through my mother's funeral. I missed my sister's wedding. I ate lunch at my desk every single day for 3 years. She looked directly at him. And then a stranger in a hospital parking lot, a man who has every reason to be focused on his own problems, stopped everything to help me. You gave me your warmth when you had so little to spare. Marcus didn't know what to say. My mom always told me we're all just walking each other home. We help when we can. Rachel smiled through her tears. Can I slip under your blanket? I just can't get warm, she whispered, echoing her confused words from that night. That's what I said to you. And you did. You wrapped me in your jacket, in your kindness, in your humanity. What Marcus didn't know was that Rachel had already made calls. Emma's medical bills were being covered by an anonymous donor. Marcus's jobs had both received calls about his dedication, with bonuses approved. A college fund had been started in Emma's name. But more than that, Rachel was changing. She announced a company-wide policy for mental health days. She started a foundation for families facing medical hardships. She began showing up differently, not just as a CEO, but as a person. When Emma finally recovered and was discharged, Marcus found Rachel waiting in the lobby. She handed him his jacket, cleaned and mended. Thank you, she said simply, for reminding me that success means nothing if we lose our humanity along the way. Marcus hugged his daughter close and smiled. We're all in this together, right? Yes, Rachel said. We really are. Kindness isn't about grand gestures or having resources to spare. It's about seeing someone who needs help and choosing to stop. It's about giving what little warmth you have, even when you're cold yourself. Marcus could have walked past that night. He had every excuse. But he stopped. He helped. And in doing so, he didn't just save a life, he reminded someone of what it means to be human. Today, spread a little warmth. You never know who needs it most.